Good morning, good people. So I've been sitting back contemplating. I was even thinking last night, trying to think of a topic because, I talked about marriage yesterday, and then, my sister was like, hey, talk about the demands of the husband and, the expectations of the wife. Um, and, it could be different interpretations of what the husband's demands are and what the wife's expectations are. Um, but I gotta speak from my experience, and that's the only thing that I can do. It's not rainbows and sunshine and smiles and giggles and, you know, big pricey rings and a lavish lifestyle. It's more so, how the hell did I get here? There are times where the demands of the husband can be more than you're willing to do. And although you love him, and although you want to be there for him, and although you want him to be happy with what you're capable of doing for him, um, there are times where you set expectations for him and he doesn't follow through. For him, that's okay. For him, he can he can look at the situation and be like, well, I mean, at least I tried, right? Or I gave you enough, right? But with you, it has to be perfect or damn near perfect. It has to be, you did it in a timely manner, you got it done efficiently. He doesn't have to ask any questions because, that's who you are to him. You're the person who gets it done. And sometimes you get caught up in that feeling. The excitement, the joy of him saying you did a good job. Hoping that with that good job, you get a bit more appreciation, a bit more understanding, consideration. Not every person goes through these type of things in their marriage. Not every woman feels like she has to push herself to be greater because he doesn't appreciate it. Um, for him. For him. A lot of the time, that's what it is. It's not so we can prove to ourselves that we're capable of doing, because we know we can do it. We know how hard it is to live life and for ourselves and still continue to do the things that our husband needs us to do. And when you have children, you add in what your children need you to do. And when you have all the things like doctor's appointments and meetings, and you want to go to church on Sunday and you want to go here and you want to do that, you want it to fit into the confines of the schedule that you guys have, so that when he's asking you to be there for him, you can be there for him. Something that I deal with pretty often is, hey, we don't spend a lot of time together. Demand. Not, we don't spend a lot of time together. No, I mean, like, these are one of the things that he's expecting, for us to be able to get time. And that's understandable. We can get time together, but that time together doesn't have to consist of sitting in the house. You know what I mean? Like, what if we go for a ride? That's time together. You have to appreciate those moments where you're actually in each other's space. And that can be hard too, because when you're in a relationship, it's usually the male who wants to be pleased more often than the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I think you should do. And we usually take it and say, oh, yeah, okay, well, I mean, I could try that. Or, yeah, I could do that. Or, you know what I mean? Um, we're usually the ones that are the most forthcoming. And in the end, it could be us being the ones that take on the most pain, take on the most hurt, um, have the most irritation, be annoyed with the fact that the expectations that are set for us are not the same for them. That's just flat out. It's not. They're going to set their expectations for us. They're going to tell us what they want from us. And when it comes time for us to tell them, it's kind of overlooked. You know what I mean? It's really funny that we're always told to love ourselves. You got to learn how to love yourself and respect yourself. And because we love ourselves, we're supposed to be okay with everything. You know? Like, since I love myself, I shouldn't have to tell you to love me. If that makes sense. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you what I expect from you because I know what I expect from myself. I respect myself enough to be able to take care of the things that I need to take care of. But at the same time, I don't need you to give me all your time. I don't need you to give me a bunch of effort because I can do it myself. It's great to be independent. It's great to be independent. It's great to be able to do your own thing. But when you're in a marriage, just like I said yesterday, it's a partnership. It's a partnership. This is not every person for themselves. Now, when I go to work, when I leave the house and I go to my job, that's me. I gotta get it for myself because my name is on them papers. But when I walk in this house and it's supposed to be me and you spending time together, that's what it's supposed to be. Me and you spending time together. Or us having family time. We can't spend all of our time away from work only talking about work. We can't spend all our time together away from the school only talking about the school. Like, we have to talk to each other. We have to communicate. But at the same time, we have to know when we can relax together. Like, I can't tell myself, oh, he's so tired. Let him get some rest. Let him get some rest. At the expense of me. If that makes sense. To you. I mean, I could just be wrong. But it wouldn't be called a ramble if or a rant if I didn't just spew what was on my brain. Because honestly, when a person spends all their time away from work, wanting to sleep, not having a life, expecting you to do it all for them, and then they go to work and they don't acknowledge anything other than that, what are they really telling you? And when they're away and they're not acknowledging, like, the fact that they don't call, they don't reach out, they don't do any of that. And when you say something, it's, well, I had to go to work. But if you leave, if you go do something, and you get a million phone calls, and you get a bunch of text messages, should you be able to have the same response? A lot of our lives, we're taught to just take everything, deal with everything, feel the pain of everything, and accept it. Because we're strong. Women are strong. They can handle everything. They can handle... There's nothing a woman can't handle. But now I realize, I have a right to say no. I got a choice. I have a choice. I can make the decision and I can look you in your face and I can tell you that's not what I'm going to do. Yes, I love myself. But that doesn't mean I got to carry you. I got to carry you because I love myself? Tell me what type of sense that make. That don't make no sense to me. And I've never understood how that was the go-to. That was the fallback for a lot of women. Like, cry myself to sleep at night, but I'm strong. And I'll get up and I'll fight again tomorrow to get through my day, even though he wants me to carry him. He wants to weigh me down with all of these demands, which are quote unquote expectations. But when the time comes for me to have expectations for him, I must be losing my mind if I think that I deserve to have expectations. Like, who raised you niggas? I don't understand. How is it that a woman can raise a man without teaching him that a woman has a right to feel? That a woman has the right to have expectations. That a woman can make demands also within a relationship. You're going to do this or we cannot be together. How are we not teaching our daughters that it's okay to make demands? It's okay to have expectations. Yes, you love yourself, sweetheart. I know you love yourself. But guess what? You don't have to be strong for you and him. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be strong for you and him. He doesn't have to carry you on his back and you don't have to carry him on your back. That's just what it comes down to. Because the longer that we continue to tell them that it's okay to carry another person, they're going to spend so much time trying to lift somebody else up. And they're not going to focus on themselves. That love you have for yourself has to be enough for you to say, okay, I can't carry you. If you don't come into this situation and you not carrying yourself, and I'm not carrying myself, we not ready. We not ready for no relationship. We not ready to start no family. We not ready for marriage. We not ready to live together. We not ready for none of that. It's okay for us to be single and be friends. It's okay for us to hang out and not have a title. That's okay. We can do that. Because it don't make sense for you to come into a friendship, jump into a relationship, end up staying together, getting married, and once you're married, you finally find out the person that you're with. It doesn't. And then you meet the family, which you've probably met the family before. In some cases, you meet the family before you get married. Most cases. And you see the issues already. But the thing is, and it's funny because we overlook those issues. Like, no, he ain't never showed me that side. She ain't never showed me that side. This is who raised him. This is who raised him. This is who raised her. No? Did that person change up when those people came around? Did you hear some things that you were surprised to hear? Are they the same person? It's easy. It's easy to put on the front. It's easy to be a different person coming into a relationship. But you also have to think about the fact that when you get in that relationship, is that person going to put a cuff on your wrist when that ring slides on your finger? And they're not always signs. Regardless of what anybody says in this world, far and wide, the reach has no bounds. The grasp, the hold that people can put on you once you are in a relationship, a committed relationship. If a person says, we together now, you my girl, you my woman, you my husband, you my boo, you bae, whatever, you start paying attention. You know, we get caught up in the lovey-dovey relationship goals, the smiles and the kisses and the hugs, and we never realize that, you know what I'm saying, there are times where it comes along with guilt trips, pity, emotional roller coasters. And nowadays there's girls out here that's like, I'd rather go through struggles and fight with you than go and do it with anybody else. Baby, go home. Do that shit by yourself. Fight your battles. Okay? God with you. You got all that. Be single and live your life, because if a man is going to drag you through the mud, or whatever your preference is, or a woman going to drag you through the mud, why? Why waste your time? That's time when you could have been smiling. That's time when you could have been riding by yourself, playing your music. That's time when you could have been at the store shopping. Like, there's not one person in this world that is worth you losing your mind for. Not one. There's absolutely no reason for it. It don't matter how much love you got for that person. There's not one person in this world that deserves for you to go crazy over them. And I've done it. Back and forth. Over and over. With the same person. Same person. It's not. It's not what you want. It's not. You can do bad by yourself. Why be in a relationship where you're carrying somebody and you still doing bad? Somebody is not following through on the role and the position that they're supposed to be in the relationship. At what point do you let it go? At what point do you stop fighting? And just start fighting for yourself. When? When do you stop thinking about somebody else's feelings and think about your own? Think about how that hurts. I mean, think about how much sadness you carrying around, how much bitterness, how much anger you feel in your heart towards a person who you're supposed to love, who's supposed to love you back. And think about the fact that if they're willing to put that pressure on you, do they really have your best intentions at heart? And I would say no. I would say no. They don't. And regardless of the words that come out their mouth, if those actions don't line up, stop believing words. Pay attention to the patterns. All them patterns that he say, that ain't what's going on. Oh, okay. All right. Ain't no more following you around. Ain't no more checking your phone. I'm just going to watch you. I'm going to watch your patterns. And as soon as you catch them patterns, you start making moves accordingly. That's all you can do. Because if you wait for him, or you hope for him, or you beg for him, or you plead for him to change, to want something different, to go about things differently, to listen to you and hope that he's going to take your words to heart and finally do what you've asked him to do 15 million times. He's only... I'm tripping, I've been sipping, that's how I control.